And it is countdown to kick off, the build-up show for the Manchester derby, the first one of the season, and it is away at the Etihad. And we have got a brilliant lineup for you today. We have Mordzs and we have Ricky. Welcome, guys.
Can I just say,
glad to be back.
Yeah, Mordzs.
What?
Ricky did his own Jadon Sancho this morning. He's a little bit late. Couldn't have having words with him afterwards. It is his first offence, so it's not going to be too heavy. But there might be like a little 25% weekly dock in the week.
Maybe.
You know, maybe, potentially. But you know, you've got to call it out. The manager gets asked about in an interview. Sometimes they let him know. So yeah.
My
Anyway,
apologies.
It's all right, Ricky. You're because you are like the star striker. Sometimes you've got to let him off, don't you?
yeah, no, you're right.
It's a derby. You need your strongest lineup.
To be fair, I might do get a late winner, so you don't mind a late winner. You know what I mean?
It's one of them, innit, where it's like you getting ready to go to one of your biggest games of the season, and you know one of your best players is pitched up late. What do? Do you bench him,
Exactly.
or do you let him start? It's one of them.
Used to have that in Sunday League all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Good players turning up late, but you just got to play them.
Yeah. Got to get the win.
Well, that's what we've done. That's what we've done today. But I mean, first and foremost, Mordzs, kick us off with a bit of positivity. You've had some strong words to say about Man City and about Pep. Are you going to hold firm on that?
Of course, I'm going to hold firm. Look, I'm going to speak to the City fans here. I know you're watching because it's not like you've got a better channel to watch anyway. But look, this is my message to the City fans and to all the Pep Guardiola fans around the world. Look, I've said this before. You was actually on the show.
I remember it well.
Yeah, where I said, look.
I thought you was raving mad.
Well, they call me crazy, but now they're understanding. Look, I genuinely, I'm not even just saying this for clicks or anything like that. I know actually that Pep Guardiola, his time of dominance, his time of winning trophies every single season is done. I think it's over now. It was a great run, and we can all give him a round of applause and appreciate it. Obviously, it wasn't what Alex Ferguson did, but it was a good little attempt to do what he did. But I think it's done now, and I think we're actually seeing it. The last season and so far this season, he seems to be struggling a lot more. I know we're going to get more into it later on in the show, but I genuinely feel like Pep Guardiola, his time, being this dominant manager in English football is over. And I think Amorim's going to show him once again. Is it the first time they played each other? Is it the third time now? A third or fourth time maybe? I think it's the third time that they play each other, and he's beat him twice now. So I think he's going to show him again today.
I think it was a win and a draw last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I'm talking about United. You're also talking about the manager himself.
Amorim.
Obviously. Because he beat City with his old club, didn't he?
Yeah, smoked him in the Champions League 4-1, Gyökeres hat-trick, and then obviously I'm a late winner. So I think it's going to be the third win that Amorim's going to have over Pep.
Yeah, I am hoping. I was going to say I think you're right, but that might be a little bit too far. I mean, every United fan, it feels like I've spoken to, Ricky, going into this game, actually feels a little bit confident. It feels like you could get something, which worries me because usually when I'm, talking to my friends or I'm talking to my dad, my brother, etc., you guys, everyone's like, maybe if we can nick something, I'd probably take a draw. But everyone I spoke to have said, you know what? I think this is the first time in a long time where I feel like we're going into it and we could get the win here and we could actually get something out of this game. Is that your feeling as well?
I definitely feel as though we could get something out of it. I would often, let's put it this way, I would often sit here and say I'll take a draw now, but maybe I wouldn't say that on this occasion.
Yeah.
I just feel as though we've got half a chance of getting a win as opposed to normally again. Look, let's be honest, they're not quite what they were. We just seemed to, in the league, I know we've had the embarrassment at Grimsby, but in the league, we've looked okay. I think we played all right against Arsenal. We played all right against Fulham, and not too bad against Burnley. We just look a little bit better than we did last season. And City have slipped a bit without any shadow of a doubt. I don't know what goes on at their club. We seem to get. I'm always banging on about us losing our best players, and they've given Grealish on loan to Everton. He's absolutely fantastic, Grealish. Yeah. What on earth they've done that for is beyond me. I don't know what was going on at the club. But I'm glad we haven't got to face Grealish today, put it that way.
No, me too. And we've got loads more to talk about. It is the derby day, countdown to kick off. Get all your comments in, all your super chats, any hot takes, any predictions. Team news is going to be a big one. I don't think anyone could call the team. So make sure you get your comments in down below as well. I can already see quite a few comments coming into the chat saying RIP to Ricky Hatton. And I did want to take some time on this show to put it out there that, rivalry aside, RIP to Ricky Hatton, sending condolences to all of his family members, all of his friends. I mean, it's such sad news to hear this morning on this derby day. I mean, ever. And we just want to send our best wishes out there to everybody who knew Ricky Hatton. Apparently he was an amazing person, an amazing guy, and he will be missed, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I even want to say as well, like, obviously you spoke about it already, but like rivalries aside, we don't even need to really talk about that. I think just general, someone being from Manchester as well, you kind of we grew up watching Ricky Hatton. He's kind of like the face of British boxing, going up against all these American guys and obviously around the world. And he's kind of like, even though he was, we didn't really think about football, him being a City fan. It was the fact that, he's from Manchester, he's British, and he's one of the most successful boxers of this generation, one of the best fighters of this generation. And it was kind of like, it's a big inspiration for not even just footballers, but any kind of athlete to show that, you can come from certain areas. I think he's from Stockport or something like that, and he lived in Stockport anyway. But to kind of show that you can come from this kind of area and go to the top of the world and be one of the best at your field. So yeah, I think obviously like Beth said, RIP, condolences to obviously his family, friends, all the other people watching or fans of him. It's obviously gonna be a sad day in terms of at the stadium and whatnot. They're probably gonna do like some kind of
they are gonna do that,
minute silence or wherever it is. But yeah, I think like Beth said, RIP and obviously condolences as well.
Man City confirmed that there will be a minute's appreciation ahead of today's game against Manchester United for one of the most loved supporters and aged 46 worldwide, known for not only being an absolutely amazing boxer but a brilliant person as well. So RIP to him. And also as well, I mean, it's just devastating to have to talk about things like this. But from a personal point of view, I just wanted to also send my love and best wishes from everyone at the United stand to Scott Thomas, former Manchester City player who very sadly lost his daughter Mia Thomas at age 23, which is just, I know, super devastating for the family, and she was an amazing person and I know very much loved by everyone. So yeah, I wanted to get that out there on the United stand as well. So, oh God, I will get emotional. It's just genuinely so emotional. But his family, sending my love to all of them. So let's get on with the show. The show must go on and we've got a derby to talk about. Let's start off. Do we think Amorim is going to take some risks, maybe play Ahmad as a wing back, or do you think he's going to bring Mazraoui in, maybe shore it up a bit and go more towards a back five? Ricky?
I think Mazraoui will play. I'm not exactly sure where. I only found out the news today that Dalot's injured. I didn't know that till this morning when you messaged me about it, Beth. There's a space there at wing back, and I know that could automatically be Dorgu. But I've not been enamoured by Dorgu, I must say. And it wouldn't surprise me if Mazraoui was to play left wing back and Ahmad right. Now I'd swap them around. I'd have the right-footed one on the right, the left-footed one on the left. But he never ever puts Ahmad on the left. So I forgot what your question was now.
It's about like Mazraoui and that.
Is he gonna
I do think Mazraoui will play. I think he's such a top player. I think he'll try and fit him in the team. And I do think he will play, whether it's at right wing back or left wing back. Because it wouldn't surprise me if he was at left wing back with Ahmad at right wing back. There's no Dalot. Obviously, there's the possibility of Dorgu and Ahmad. But if Ahmad plays right wing, if Mazraoui was to play right wing back, you've got the possibility of Ahmad then playing at number 10 as well, haven't you? And obviously Kuhner's injured, so there's so many permutations that he could do for this game. Yeah, it's ridiculous how many permutations there are. If anybody guesses the team right, it's just luck. It's just hot luck. You're not going to sort of really know it until you see it. Yeah,
that's kind of what I said. When we were doing, I predicted, me and Beth were doing it before, I predicted 11. I kind of predicted that something a little bit different, kind of what you just said there. Ahmad actually going to left 10, not left wing back, just because I can see him kind of bringing in Mazraoui, because I mean, it's a top player. You kind of don't want to leave him out of your team, especially when you've got Dalot injured as well. It's a good addition to kind of bring in. But I can imagine Ahmad. I mean, I spoke about in prediction a bit earlier about the goal that he scored against City, the last game, and it was from that area. It was Martinez who played the ball into that left-sided channel, and Ahmad ran onto it and obviously took it around the keeper.
He ran from right to left, Ahmad, didn't he, on the end of it?
But it was from that left-hand side, and even remember the Burnley game, obviously the last game he played, that chance that he had with Mbumo, he was on the left-hand side again. And I know, obviously, he was moving around a little bit at that point in the game, but I think Ahmad on that side is still very, very dangerous. Obviously, look at the striker, Sesko. You're going to want to have a player on that side who's going to whip in balls, he's going to be able to put in crosses. Yes, obviously, we might possibly have Dorgu there as well, but Ahmad is obviously the better player when it comes to crossing the ball. Put him on that left-hand side, keeping Mbumo on the right and then Mazraoui on the right as well, you're going to have a lot of balls coming in, a lot of creative players.
Great move.
And yeah, like you said, that's one way how we can actually get behind City and obviously get some good chances.
You in agreement with that then,
Yeah,
Ricky?
it sounds like I won't be against it whatsoever. You've got the job as assistant manager, Mom.
I have been pushed out.
Thank you. I love that.
I've been sacked. What is going on? I mean, we're going to have our own crack. We're kind of going to do a mix of what we think he's going to play / what we would want when Mords heads over to the tactics board in a moment. But like you said, Ricky, it really is anyone's guess. What he did say, though, is he hinted it's Sesko starting. Did you see that in his embargo bit of his presser? He said about Benjamin Sesko, he knows that everyone's eager to see him. Maybe it'd be a good time to have his first Premier League start against Man City in the derby.
I think he has to. I think he has to start him today. Not because, he's going to change the game or anything, but I mean, look, he's been there for what? How many games has he been there now? Three games? I think the first game was a game before the Grimsby game. I can't remember what it was, but he's been there for a few games now. He hasn't really had that much opportunity to actually start and get his feet, get really into the rhythm of things. Look, sometimes you just got to throw someone in the deep end and see the sink or swim. And I think if, like I said it in one of the previous shows, if he throws him in the deep end in a big game like this against City, and he swims and he's actually playing very well, kind of like how Arsenal have done with Gyökeres, it's kind of like, okay, like we've actually finally got a striker who's on form, hopefully possibly gets a goal, and then we can now build from that. But I think the longer he waits to kind of put him into these kind of situations, it's kind of like he's just tiptoeing around what he really wants to do. So I feel like, this is the perfect time to just throw him in. We've obviously got 2 injuries now, so it even makes even more sense to put him in a team. And let's hope that he does well.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope so. I mean, quickly, Ricky, on that, you did think that Joshua Zirkzee had a crack of starting today, so...
Well, I thought Xerxes did really well when he came on. In fact, I mentioned it on the show, didn't I, after the game, and you sort of all giggled at me when I said there was no difference after Kuna went off, and I've rewatched the game twice over, and there isn't any difference after Kuna goes off. We still play equally as well. Xerxes did not let the team down in any way, shape, or form. So I wouldn't be surprised if Xerxes played, but I do agree with you. It's time for Kuna. Time for Sesko.
Time for Sesko, yeah. It's
Sesko time.
Yeah, it's Sesko time. You've been looking forward to seeing Sesko for a long time. I think even on before the season kicked off, you wanted him to be player of the season. That was your prediction, our top goal scorer. I mean, you've seen the likes of the new Newcastle striker coming in, Walter Maida. He scored yesterday. Maybe wasn't like the most impressive performance you've ever seen, but he got a goal, and that's what a striker wants to do. I mean, you've seen Gyökeres now scored quite a few. I mean, the new strikers that have come on the scene, João Pedro, I mean, bit of a striker / number 10, doing really well for Chelsea, already bedded in. So it's one of them where it's like, you want to see your strikers scoring goals. You want to see them in the team, and you've spent quite a chunk of money on Benjamin Sesko. You want to see him play. I mean, it's interesting that Rasmus Højlund scored against Napoli last night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a well-taken goal. It's a lovely pass as well.
Exactly. I mean,
it's a nice goal.
I will always wish every player that leaves Manchester United on good terms, I will always wish well. And I wish Scott McTominay well. I wish Rasmus Højlund well. I hope he does really well there. However, I did watch the goal back, and I did think, I mean, you can never 100% tell. I don't know if you get the exact same opportunity in the Premier League. To me, I feel like in the Premier League, usually a defender will be on your heels and you won't get that much time and space.
But you're saying there aren't any goals scored in the Premier League, but there's just as many goals scored in the Premier League as there are in Serie A.
No, but I'm just saying the type
They've got to come from somewhere, haven't they?
The type of goal it was, I did think it is... I do think he had a bit more time than what you usually would get in the Prem.
Yeah,
but...
perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. You're agreeing with me. Quickly, before we head over to Mords on the tactics board, we have a super chat in from Jürgen Barden here. Thank you very much. Jared Palmer says, as a Gooner, please win and wipe that smug smile off Luke's face. Cheeky 1-0 United win. Oh, there's nothing more than I'd love to do than wipe the smile off Luke's face, I tell you that. Saint Blanco says, Mords, my guy. I see the trim is nice and crisp. Beth, you're looking quite the stunner in that top. Thank you very much. Always good to see Don Ricky, the United stand kingpin. And then Chris Andromeda says, always hyped for the derby, but trying to keep my expectations low. I would love a masterclass at the Etihad though. Wouldn't we all? I really do think it's going to be quite a close game. I'd love us to go out there and thrash them, but...
Oh, imagine.
Oh, God, I'd love it. I mean, there's been City fans...
We don't thrash anybody, Beth, do we? Come on.
There's been City fans that message me saying they think it's going to be 4-2 United. And I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Anyway, let's try and put together a starting 11 that we'd like to see / the manager could pick. Team news will be coming out in around 25 minutes-ish, so let's put a team together and see if we can, how close we can get maybe to it. Mords is over at our tactics board, ready and waiting.
I'm over here. Look, let's try and get this start in 11, and let's see who it is. I mean, like Ricky said, if anyone can guess it, to be fair, well done. You know, because you can never really tell with Amorim who he's going to put in his team. But I think there are still quite a few positions that we can kind of solidify and put some names down. I mean, let's start from the goalkeeper. Kind of an obvious one, only because Amorim's already mentioned it in a press conference. But I mean, let's talk a little bit about it anyway. I mean, who would you guys would have preferred or wanted to start in net today?
I saw Beth put something on about she'd definitely put the new lad in, the youngster. I'm not keen on that idea, throwing him into the derby game. I'm really not. I mean, the manager said as much, and I agree with him. I think buying day, you've got to stick with him for this game at least. And if he does okay in this game, you know, maybe for some time to come. So I think it's a bit, especially, let's be honest, Beth, I know we've bought this player and I know we want him to be great. Let's be honest, we haven't watched him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know
so
that.
I can't say,
I've
not got a single clue what he's like. I'm just hoping with my heart that he's a great goalkeeper. But that doesn't mean anything, does it? You know what I mean?
I just don't know if it can the worse. Also, Ricky, if you could just turn around slightly towards me, just so the camera's more on you, we're not seeing completely your back. That'd be absolutely brilliant. But the reason I said put Larmans in mainly was because I just don't think it could have got much worse than what we were currently getting. Don't get me wrong, I think Altay Bayındır, you know, is done all right at times, but mainly he is error prone and mistake prone, and to make a mistake in a derby, it can really, really cost you, like it did a big game against Arsenal. I thought we were the better team, yet a Bayındır mistake cost us. So that's why I wanted to just get the new lad in. I think every game in the Premier League is a tough game, so I would have got him straight in. But that's where we're at on that one. Let's move on. It's going to be Bayındır. That's what Amorim said, and I hope with all of my heart that he has an absolutely unbelievable game. And everyone sat here saying Amorim, you know, he played a masterstroke. Bayındır's been great. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think it kind of shows what he's going to be doing for the future anyway. I think a lot of people said already, he probably won't really play Lamans until January time. So if Bayındır is going to be our goalkeeper for the next, 3-4 months, we're going to need him to put in some good performances. So yeah, so Bayındır in goal. Let us know in the comments if you would actually choose him or if you pick Seny Lamans. But let's go into the back three now. I'm going to go with, in my opinion, the obvious first choice. I think that is De Ligt, unless you have any disagreements. But I think the obvious first choice for me would be De Ligt in that central centre-back position. Obviously, yes, Harry Maguire is another option, but I mean, let me know, would you guys pick anyone differently?
For the central point of the three, position, I would agree that De Ligt will play. Yeah. I think he's just. I'm not as absolutely over the moon with him as everybody else seems to be. I just think he's doing okay. I don't think he's absolutely pulling up any trees.
He's doing his job though.
He wins his headers. He's strong in the tackle. Like I say, I rewatched that Burnley game. There's a couple of things I noticed that I wasn't very happy with, if I'm honest, but not too many. So yeah, I would agree with that. I think what I'm trying to get with this, he doesn't deserve to lose his place. But what I will say, if he was to pick up an injury for 2 games or get suspended for 2 games, or however many, 1 or 2 games, or whatever it is they get, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if he didn't get back in if Harry Maguire came in. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not saying he deserves to lose his place. I think he's playing okay, but he's not playing that fantastic for me that he automatically comes in if Maguire... I believe Maguire could come in and play equally well. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way.
I don't actually think that's a terrible. I do think De Ligt does kind of walk into the central centre back position or into any of the 3 positions. Not any, but mainly the central centre back one. But I do think Maguire is one of those players that he does take his opportunities pretty well. I feel like every time he has come back into the team, he has kind of shown up and he's kind of proven okay, I deserve to actually have a place in here. So I do agree in a sense. What do you think about that?
What I will say about Harry Maguire is he'll definitely get minutes today. I think he's really important to the squad. I personally would go De Ligt over him just because the thing is, for me, and I've said this quite a few times, I think Harry Maguire can have maybe a better game than De Ligt in terms of if it's a one-off performance, he can really, really hit the heights. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Although De Ligt against Arsenal was at that level for me. Probably the best I've ever seen him play for United. However, I think over a consistent run of games, De Ligt is the better player.
Yeah.
What I also think is De Ligt, I know it's a derby and you should always play your best team, and I do think he is the best team, but De Ligt is the future of this club, and I think he's had a strong start to the season. I know Ricky had a few little comments from the Burnley game, but I think overall that Arsenal game he was top quality. When he's played, he's been good, he's looked strong. He's the future, he's 25. I would like to go with him leading that back line, and it's about chemistry and it's about keeping a unit, and I do think the three as a whole have done really well together, especially I think De Ligt and Shaw. I always see them talking on the pitch, and it's good to see.
Yeah, I actually think one of the biggest battles today is going to be De Ligt and Haaland, if we're being honest. Haaland is going to try and target him. He's going to do the Gyökeres thing, and I think he's going to have a 10 more or less a 10 out of 10 game today if he's going to want to have to, or be able to handle what Haaland's going to do today.
And do you remember as well when, first game of the season, everyone was saying Gyökeres is a flop, look how bad Gyökeres is, and now Gyökeres has gone on and scored a couple and looks pretty good as well. I think a lot of us were saying De Ligt actually has just done a fantastic job on him.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, from the first game to now, you get sharper, you get more comfortable, you get to know the league more, but I think people just didn't want to give De Ligt credit for some reason, and he did really well, so yeah.
Yeah, he could shut up shop today. So look, the other two central centre-back positions, let's start on the right.
Yeah.
And let's say, look, I'm going to put this to you. Actually, Rick, I'm going to put it to you. Who's the first right-sided centre-back? Or who's the player that you want to put in the team?
It would be Lenny Yoro, but what I would say is he's going to come under pressure from Mazraoui, and he might even have come under pressure from Mazraoui today if we weren't short in the wing-back position. He could still, you never know, we have got other options for wing-backs. Yeah. But I think Mazraoui's going to be pushing for this position now that Mazraoui's fit, because I think that is Mazraoui's best position as well, and Mazraoui's a top player. But I think for now, I will go Lenny Yoro.
Lenny Yoro, Beth?
I'd stick with the back three that have played well together. I really rate Mazraoui, and I think if he is fit enough, he will play somewhere, whether that be right-sided centre-back or whether that be maybe right wing-back. I think, Amorim might go with him at wing-back today, one of the wing-back spots, to be honest with you, to kind of combat against the fact that you've got really good quality attacking players coming at you away from home. But I think since the start of the season, I don't think you can drop Lenny Yoro out of that back three, so I'd go with Lenny Yoro.
And on the left-hand side, I've already put Luke Shaw in just because there isn't really anyone who's really challenging that position. The only person who really could have challenged it was Lenny Yoro. He's obviously on the right now.
There was an interesting quote from Luke Shaw, and we didn't mention it earlier. He's basically said recently that he wants to play left wing back when he's, he said he's happy to play wherever the manager picks him, but his favourite position would be left wing back. Might we see that?
Yeah.
Might we see that? Especially while we've got one or two problems in the wing back areas.
Yeah. I think Tull made a really good point. I think it was on the group chat a little bit ago. It wasn't that long ago, but I remember it. And he said, if Luke Shaw is going to have consistent injury problems, and that is one of the most demanding areas on the pitch, play as a wing back, then what he should be used as, if you're chasing a game in the last 10, 20 minutes, move him to wing back then maybe. I know obviously if he's played the full game at left side centre back, his muscles might be a bit fatigued, I don't know. But it is a little bit of a cheat code for maybe 10, 15 minutes of a game when you're chasing to put Luke Shaw there. The crosses he can get into the box and how good he is at going forward, it'd be a really good asset to use. I thought it was a good point.
Yeah, 100%.
But I do think it'll be that today. I think he'll play there.
Yeah, and on that point, I think that's the main thing with the whole wing-back position, the fact that you have to be equally as good going forward as defending. And not even necessarily as good, but you have to be on each side of the pitch just as much. You can't just be a left winger and just stay as a left winger, because if you don't get back, we're not going to be a man down. It's going to cause a lot of problems. So I think that's kind of the issue that a lot of people have with Luke Shaw, is that they're just questioning whether or not he can get up and down just as much as someone like Dorgu or Ahmad, and even like Dalot Mazraoui, if he can do the same thing. But go on.
I just want to say, did you hear what he did? A recent interview, and there's a few interesting quotes from it that I thought, maybe we'd bring in. So the first one, which I think United fans have been wanting to hear after what happened last time, he said, "I'm not thinking about the World Cup. My goal is to be available for this manager to stay in shape and do everything to help Manchester United." So obviously he got quite a lot of backlash when he went to the Euros last time and then wasn't fit for United. So that's a good quote for to kind of bring in. He said, "It's really important for me to keep fit, stay available, especially after last year. It's kind of been my career, really, a lot of ups and downs, different injuries I've had, but I'm feeling really good, really positive. I'm enjoying the way I'm playing at this moment under the new boss." And he also, like, just to get the actual quote in there, like Ricky referred to, he said, currently I'm playing left-sided centre-back and I'm content, but I still see myself as more of a wing-back. The manager does know this, but he's the one that decides, and I'm happy to play anywhere. So maybe, Amorim would like to play him there, but it is just maybe he's keeping him fit for a sustained period of time that's kind of holding him back because of how good he is. It's important to have him fit.
That's a great point. I mean, the manager could have it in his mind that if he can keep him fit, because obviously he breaks down left, right and centre, doesn't he? But if he can keep him fit maybe for 10 or 12 games in a row, he then might think, well, he's definitely fully fit now, maybe chance him at left wing back when he's had quite a few games rather than 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, 100%. No, look, let's move on to, we'll go to the 2 wing back positions. I'm going to start off on the right again. I think this one is actually an interesting one. I mean, I'm going to say, I don't know actually, because we actually just discussed this then, and Mazraoui in this position would make a lot of sense. But obviously Ahmad has been playing there majority of the time. Dalot is injured, so he's not really in this conversation. Ricky, I'm going to go to you. Who would you start in this right wing back position?
It's a bit of a tricky one because I would play Mazraoui there, but I would play Mazraoui there. I know I'm going to leap ahead here a little bit, but I have to explain what I'm thinking. I would put Ahmad on the left, but he never plays Ahmad on the left, does he?
Yeah.
But those 2 players would be my wing backs today. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they are the 2 wing backs, except Ahmad will be on the right and Mazraoui will be on the left, which to me is crazy, by the way. But so I'm going to say that. I'm going to go, not what I'd do in this occasion, because we did say we're mixing it up a bit, didn't we? I think the right wing back today will be Ahmad.
Ahmad, yeah.
I'm going to go Ahmad as well.
Ahmad.
Yeah. I just think I think people are, being a little bit harsh on him at the moment. I think what his attributes he's got, how good he is on the ball, how intelligent he is, I think he's got to be in this team. I mean, let's actually run a poll for everyone watching currently.
Yeah.
What would be your wing-back pairing? So, Greg, get ready to type. The wing-back pairing, so you could have Ahmad and Mazraoui and Dorgu, or Ahmad and Dorgu. So, let's see what he goes with. We won't put Luke Shaw in there just because I'm very unsure he will play there today. But let's go with that.
I feel like Ahmad has to play anyway, especially because we have got one right wing back who's already injured, in Dalot, so kind of frees up that position for Ahmad regardless. But then we've got 2 10s who are also injured, which is Ahmad's favourite position. So it's like,
Ahmad's going to be in there somewhere.
He's going to be in there somewhere, and if he isn't, then that's a bigger conversation.
Be a terrible blow,
yeah. But I think regardless, Ahmad is going to play, and it's just about where do you really want to put him, or where you're going to get the best out of him. And look, we'll talk about the 2 10s in a moment, but let's go on to the left-hand side. We've spoken before. It's really out of Dorgu and Mazraoui. I mean, the fact that we've got Ahmad here. I mean, who we put in? I would go with. I'm going to say Dorgu. I think he's going to play Dorgu, but I mean, obviously Mazraoui is a conversation. I mean, who are you going to put in the team?
Mazraoui for me.
It's Mazraoui for me, but it wouldn't surprise me, as you've said, if the manager thinks it's Ahmad and Dorgu. If he's going to play Dorgu, by the way, Mazraoui could be on the right, which flees Ahmad. We said before, didn't there? There's that many permutations. It could be Mazraoui and Dorgu, and Ahmad could be at 10. But I'm going to go left wing back, Mazraoui.
Okay, we'll put Mazraoui. What's Mazraoui's first name?
Noose.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Mazraoui.
Okay, Mazraoui. And then the 2 midfield options. I mean, again, this is where it actually gets interesting because, again, we don't know where Bruno's going to play. I would have put Bruno in there straight away, but he could obviously be in the 10s. I mean, Rick, I'm just going to say to you now, who are your 2 midfielders?
Well, Casemiro's going to play, isn't he? Without a doubt. And Bruno's definitely going to play, but like you say, which way would it be round? If Mainu doesn't play today as well, that'll be a right kick in the what's-its for him. Mainu's got to play. So whether it doesn't really matter which way round. Mainu could be next to Casemiro, or Bruno could, with the other one being in the 10.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could be Mainu, Casemiro, and then Bruno probably get moved up. Do you agree with that, Beth?
I'm going with that. Mainu, yeah. I think Mainu's made for this sort of game, and especially with Cunha and Mount out, it would be a proper blow for him still not to make the starting 11.
Yeah, and then going into the 2 10 positions, kind of picks himself already. Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno.
And obviously Mbumo. Yeah, Brian and Bimo. And then the striker, I mean, it has to be.
It's got to be Sesko.
It's going to be Sesko.
Has to be Sesko again.
What I will say, guys, just a quick point from me, is Mount and Cunha, both important players, I think,
Very
injured.
important.
And I think they are going to be a loss. I mean, Mount has been fantastic since the start of the season. And, you know, I think sometimes people don't see like the little things he does that really do improve the way you play. He's been really good. And Cunha, you know, just his attitude, his grit, his ability to carry the ball, and just that personality that he brings, I think he's going to be a massive miss as well. Also, very good footballer. But looking at the team we've just created, you've still got, you know, some good options there. It shows with the signings we've made, we've got a bit more strength in depth now. Even though we are going to miss Mount and Cunha, you've still put together, in my opinion, a really good starting 11.
Who have we not named there who could be on the bench as well?
Xerxes, maybe.
Yeah.
Anybody else we've left out who we think might have had a chance? Obviously, we thought, you know, Dorgu could have had a chance at left wing back.
Maybe Ugarte, but I doubt it.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about the strength of the bench, you know.
Yeah, the only issue is with that, because Cunha and Mount are out, who have been in our starting 11, you know, you've got players in there like Kobbie Mainoo now and Sesko who have been on the bench. The strength of the bench does dip. So it's like, maybe, as much as I think Ahmad should start, and I think you should always go with your strongest team, maybe he'll think about it, I need to be able to bring on some firepower at the 60th, 70th minute, and I don't really have that, apart from Xerxes, which is a different kind of player, really. So, be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't mind this team. I'll be honest. I think this could be a starting team anyway. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if this team started next week or whatever the Chelsea game or the Brentford game. So yeah, I don't mind it. And I think what would actually be interesting is this in the middle here. I think this would be really interesting to see how this goes. But yeah, go on, Beth.
Breaking news. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
That's okay.
It's coming in from the Manchester Evening News that Patrick Dorgu is set to start in the derby.
Change it.
Change it, Mordzs. Change it.
Come back to the. But doesn't this change the whole team, though?
Changes the whole team.
Not the whole team.
Maybe Mazraoui's not fit enough to start. He's only had a few minutes, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I'd leave it like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny actually, because even before that news came out, the poll on the United Stand in the live chat is 43% Mazraoui and Dorgu, 35% Ahmad and Dorgu, and 22% Ahmad and Mazraoui. So the chat are loving Dorgu, and the majority is going towards a combination with him in there. So
yeah, I mean, when I said I probably would have put Dorgu in there, but the only thing that this kind of changes is if Mazraoui is fit. And he is available, there is that option there where he could go and put Mazraoui in the right. He could go and put Mazraoui in the right, put Ahmad in the 10, bring Bruno back into midfield, and then I guess that means
Kobe's not even playing.
And if we're being honest, he probably does prefer Mazraoui in his team than Kobbie Mainoo from what we've seen already. So that could be something that he might do. But yeah, still a good team though. Yeah.
I mean, we'll bring in what Amorim had to say on Kobbie Mainoo very, very, very shortly. But we are about to see what you guys thought. Mordzs was speaking to some fans, and this is what they had to say.
Okay, so we are outside of Old Trafford. No, the game is not here, it's at the Etihad, but I've got some fans. I'm going to say United fans. We've got one City fan as well, which I thought would probably be good actually to kind of hear your opinion as well on the game. So look, the first thing I'm going to ask, what are your score predictions?
My score is 1-0 for United and Sesko.
Ooh, okay.
For me, 3-0 City, Haaland hat-trick.
Haaland hat-trick. Okay, cool. And I want to also ask, how do you think the game's going to go? Do you think it's going to be you think City are going to destroy us, so yeah, do you kind of feel it's going to be more of a cagey, back and forth kind of game?
I think that will be a so tough game, and I'm looking for the show.
Yeah. How about
Yeah,
you?
for me it's gonna also be a tough game because, as you know, City is not in good dispositions recent weeks. But I think this game they will show that they're the best team in Manchester.
You know, I like this though. I like that you're brave with it. So I want to ask you. You spoke about City out in the best shape, and I want to talk about the injuries for both teams. What are your thoughts on that? First of all, who do you feel like is going to be a big miss for United, and how do you feel like we can capitalise on Man City's injuries as well?
Man City has a lot of injuries, and I think that's so good for us. But it will be so tough to destroy them because last season of United was bad, and I waiting for redemption.
Redemption.
Yeah, like a lot of players are missing. Like Marmoush broke his knee last week, and Foden, we miss old Foden, and De Bruyne left the club, and the GOAT, Grealish.
Oh, he's got Grealish on the back. Let me see that. Go turn around. He's got Grealish on the back. He's a big miss as well for you, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Grealish, and to be honest, it's nice to see that he's going well on Everton.
Yeah, he's doing well. A lot of assists so far this season. Now, I want to ask, who do you feel like is the star player for both of the teams? I'm going to start with you.
I'm so crying about the Garnacho is.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite, but I'm so crying also about Kobe Mainu.
Kobe Mainoo, this is my guy. Kobe Mainoo, I like that one.
Yeah, I love him, and I want to he just fight for a position in the team.
Yeah, he might get a start today. You never know about injuries. How about you? Who's a star player for Man City?
For Man City, it has to be Rodrigo, the Ballon d'Or winner, and of course Haaland, the record breaker. But I have to say that the star of opposite team, United, is I don't like him, but Bruno Fernandes, You don't like him, but he's really good,
No, I understand that. Now, I want to ask about the managers. So, obviously, first of all, Ruben Amorim, what are your thoughts on him? And how well do you feel like he's going to do? I mean, he's never lost to Pep. That's one thing you can't deny. He's never lost to Pep. So, how do you feel about Ruben Amorim?
I think it's a difficult question because United changes coaches so often, and I think Amorim needs 2 seasons to start United playing good as the old United.
Old United, yeah. How about you? Pep
Guardiola, as you said, never won against Amorim. Like I remember the game against Sporting, but what can I say? It's one of the best managers of all time, and I hope City will go back on track.
Okay, cool. Anyway, lads, thank you. Appreciate your time, and hopefully you guys enjoy the game, man.
Well, very interesting to hear what them two had to say. Man United fan and a City fan there outside Old Trafford. Team news is going to be in T-6 minutes.
Wow.
But we did say we'd speak a little bit about Kobe Mainu. Will he start? Won't he start? Let us know in the comments. Get your super chats in as well and let us know what you think. But here are some quotes from Ruben Amorim regarding Kobe Mainu. So he got asked about what he can do to get more game time and what he sees for Kobe Mainu in this team. And Ruben Amorim said this: like a lot of guys, he wants to play more. I believe a lot in Kobe, but some of you think that Kobe Mainu is already done. I think he can do so much better. He can improve a lot. He said on whether he'll get more game time, sometimes I think for some guys, it's the level that they're playing at now is enough. For him, it's not enough. Maybe it's not fair, but I think I'm helping Kobe Mainu and that's it. He will have opportunities like the other guys. If I feel during the week that he's the best player to play, he's going to play, and I proved that already to every player here. I believe a lot in him. I have the same opinion that you have, that he's a top player, but he can be so much better, so I'm focused on that. I watched a lot of Premier League games whilst I was in Portugal, and you could feel that Man United was really about transitions. Kobe was the only guy that calmed down the game. Now we have other players to calm down the game. We play different, and so sometimes I expect more from Kobe Mainu. I know that he can give that. He's really good at controlling the game, but if he plays as a number 8, he has to reach the box and be returning back to the midfield. So he has to cover a lot of space. And then he said what he needs to improve on. He said Kobe could play as a number 6, but sometimes he passes the ball and goes away, and that is not as a reference as a number 6. So we have to balance everything in the midfield. I think he needs to have the technical ability that he already has, but he needs more pace. He needs to better understand the position. He needs to play in different speeds. Sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's faster. So I think he can improve on that. And then also, sometimes it's bad luck. Bruno is maybe the most influential player in the last few years, and he has been playing that position. He has to beat Bruno, Casemiro and Manu Ugarte. They are good players also, so I need to choose. It depends on the game, the opposition and the set pieces sometimes. All these things matter when you choose a team. He then referenced the fact that some managers sometimes just have different beliefs, different feelings. He said, for example, Vitinha was on the bench at Wolves. Now he's one of the best midfielders in the world. He's got to go with his feelings. But he said with Kobe Mainu, he's got the technical ability, that's for sure. But there needs to be more. There needs to be more pace. He needs to understand the position that he's playing better. So to me, that sets Kobe Mainu a challenge to really knuckle down, work really hard and try and get into this team, but it sounds like it's going to be difficult.
Certainly sounds difficult, and I'm not keen on a manager. I'm really not keen on a manager talking so openly about players' deficiencies,
weaknesses,
and how they've, how much they've got to improve in certain things. I really don't like it at all. And what I will, I mean, you all know that he's one of my pet hates, but he mentions him not understanding the position, and did he say going away from the position? So don't tell me Bruno doesn't do that all the time, and he plays.
Says he needs to reach the box and then get back into the midfield.
Yeah. I can't see that Bruno does that any less than he does. You know what I mean? He runs away from the position, doesn't he? And, joins the attack. And obviously he gets back. But, Manu's not going to walk back, is he? You know what I mean? I just don't get it, mate. I don't get it at all. I don't get the fact that he's saying all that about a player. I don't think you should be speaking like that in the media about a player. And then secondly, I don't think he's any worse at those things than the other players that are playing there, really. I mean, Casemiro doesn't leave the position much. He does get in the box occasionally. He's only set pieces and that. He definitely gets in the box. But the players that we play there who do get forward, I'm not having it that they get back any quicker than Maynard does when he plays.
I agree on your point that the competition he's got for his place isn't actually that strong in the midfield, and I do think he can do just as well as some of the other players that are picked regularly, if not better. I think he's definitely should have more game time. So the arguments that Amorim makes, I mean, they're valid. He does have to improve his pace and the way he gets around the pitch, but I think the other attributes he has...
Is Bruno faster than him?
I think Bruno gets around a lot more. Bruno covers like the most ground in the team. I think, if he had that kind of work rate, and it's not as if he's not got the work rate because he has, he just sometimes, it does feel like he's running in treacle a little bit. But that being said, I do think that's not enough for him to be playing as little as he is. I think it's Ruben Amorim. And I agree with you, I wouldn't like it to be that public. I think what's happened is he's been asked this question so many times, and sometimes Amorim just
wants to nip it in the bud, he wants to stop it.
Gives it all, and that's what he's done. But I think he's, can I just say, I think he's saying that out there to challenge Kobbie Mainoo and be like, you've wanted to leave on loan, this is what you've got to do. I do think he sees something in him. I think he's just really trying to get him to be the best possible player he can be, I think.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but in that comment there, he says he's competing with Bruno and Casemiro and Ugarte. In the past, has he not said that Ugarte and Casemiro were competing for one spot and Bruno and Mainoo for the other?
Yeah, I said
I'm
that.
sure he has.
Yeah, he's
said that.
So that's different now, what he's saying.
I think, look, I think in general, Amorim wanting Kobbie Mainoo to be better is a positive. I think we should...
Yeah, of course you want him to be better, without a doubt.
We want the manager to want his... What's going on?
Team's out.
Is the team out?
Go on. No, let's just go on to
we've got to cut that short. We've got to cut that short.
Let's go on to that.
Team is out.
Is Sesko playing?
Yes.
Right.
But you're going to be a little bit shocked. Right. Let me try and get it in the actual order.
Go on then, get it in order. Get it in order, love.
No one's guessed it, I'll tell you that.
Tom Heaton gets it.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I'll try and... It's hard because it's not in a formation. Right. What I will say is Casemiro and Mainoo are both on the bench.
Wow.
No, wait, read it out.
Okay, Bayern in goal.
Yeah.
You've got a back three. What I can imagine is Luke Shaw, De Ligt and Lenny Yoro.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your wing backs are Ahmad and Mazraoui.
Yeah, we said that. Is Dorgu playing?
Let me just read it out. Bayern, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Bruno, Dorgu, Yoro, Ahmad, Mbeumo, Shaw, Ugarte, Sesko.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Is Luke Shaw playing at wing back? No, Dorgu is.
Dorgu, Mazraoui?
Dorgu, Mazraoui. Oh yeah, Ahmad's in the 10.
Yeah,
Ahmad's
that makes
in the
sense.
10.
So Mazraoui and Dorgu will be the wing backs. So it's a normal back three.
It's Bruno and Ugarte in midfield.
So it's Bruno and Ugarte in midfield, and the two 10s are
Ahmad and Mbeumo.
Ahmad and Mbeumo. Yeah, Mazraoui's at right wing back.
Yeah.
Ahmad and Mbeumo and Sesko.
Sesko up front, yeah. So let's just read that out again for everyone in the room. I don't think anybody has guessed this.
No, we've never got it.
It is Bayern in goal. It is a back three of Luke Shaw, Matthias De Ligt and Lenny Yoro. Your wing backs are Patrick Dorgu and Nusa Mazraoui. Your midfielders are Manuel Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes. Your two number 10s are Ahmad and Brian Mbeumo. And then your striker is Benjamin Sesko for his first Premier League start. Wow, 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 wow,
I don't
wow,
think
wow,
that's
wow,
crazy,
wow,
man.
wow.
That's
I
about
think
wow,
it
eh?
is.
Well, what's the crazy part you got? That's
Playing
it.
Bruno and Ugarte together in midfield, I
That's the only bit
was for
Ugarte.
sure convinced he was going to move Bruno up into the 10. He's making a statement there. Etihad away, probably Anfield away. Bruno Fernandes is playing in midfield. That is what I see for him.
I think the crazy thing is Ugarte over Manu and Casemiro.
Yeah,
I think
that's
insane.
mad, isn't it?
That's insanity. Like, if he thinks Ugarte is a better footballer than Casemiro and Manu, there's no, unless, I don't know, he might have had the craziest training session. That might be the only thing I can say, but if there's no way you could look at Ugarte and say, you know what, he's going to provide more for this team than Casemiro and Mane, especially because Casemiro's actually been good this season. Like, he's not been bad. Maybe
I worry about our midfield today.
Like, I think that's the craziest part. I think the rest of it kind of not too bad. But
Imagine how Manu's feeling when, obviously, he can play as a 10, he can play as a 6, and you've got Mount and Kuna both out, and he's still on the bench.
I'd be gutted if I was Bobby Manu.
Absolutely sick.
I was for certain he was going to start today because I thought, obviously, you can't hold on to one game, but he's produced in Manchester derbies. I thought, look at how good he was in that FA Cup final. And Cunha and Mount are out and he still can't get in. And obviously, I hope Ugarte has an absolute top draw performance today. But to think Ugarte is starting ahead of him is wild to me.
yeah, I can't see it.
But wow.
And the
bench is Heaton, Lemens, so 2 keepers, which I always think is such a waste. But Heaton, Lemens, Fredrickson, Heaven, Leon, Maguire, Casemiro, Manu, Xerxes. You'd like to think he's at least going to get minutes off the bench.
He
So.
will come on, surely, at some stage.
Wow.
Shots. What about City's team?
Yeah, let's get Man City's team up. You just know it's going to be like the strongest lineup. Even though I don't actually think Pep's probably started his strongest lineup yet this season.
You don't have a strongest lineup. You've got too many injuries.
To be fair, yeah.
It's not possible to have a strongest lineup.
I mean, there's only, I think it's Cherky that's out, Aït-Nouri,
Marmoush.
and Marmoush. I think they're the only 3 that are out, really. Actually, you know what? I'm just looking here. John Stones hasn't made it either, which obviously I don't wish injury on anyone, but I'm quite happy about because I think John Stones is very good. So their starting 11 is Donnarumma, Cousinov, Diaz, Gvardiol, O'Reilly, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Reinders, Foden, Doku, Haaland.
Foden's back. Wow.
Foden's back and he's starting. The subs are Trafford, Ake, Nico, Savinho, Nunez, Bob, Mukasa, Lewis and Mifune. So you've got Bob's on the bench, and I think that's a good thing for us because I think Bob is very, very good. Doku's going to be tough.
Doku's he's an handful, Doku, but he's not as good as Grealish. You'd have meant to it. Nowhere near as good as Grealish. You know what I mean? Sorry, but
Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and Reinders versus Ugarte and Manu.
Just 2.
Not Manu, Ugarte and Bruno.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like Ugarte's had some good games for us in the past, and I love Bruno, but I just think that midfield can be a bit lightweight. I think Patrick Dorgu and Mazraoui are really going to have to, put a shift in on them.
Yeah, they've got to work cut out.
They're going to have to, get back in position quite quickly.
It's an interesting team, man.
I'm glad Mazraoui's starting. I am glad Mazraoui's starting.
Yeah.
Their bench is good as well. They can bring Bob on, they can bring Ricky Lewis on, they can bring Savinho on. We've got Xerxes and Manu to come on, make a difference. Harry Maguire, big, can put him up front,
Come
can't
on
you?
and get the winner, can't he?
Yeah.
The equaliser, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, let's digest it a little bit. Sesko's first start. What do you want to see from him, Mords?
I actually made a video about the different things that I want to see in a City game, and one of the things was about I want our players to kind of facilitate Sesko as much as they can, because there's no point us bringing in this 6'5" striker who's great in the air, he can run in behind, all this kind of stuff, and we're not giving him the ball. We're trying to play a particular style of football where he's not really the end product. It's like anyone can be the end product. I want us to actually use Sesko for what he's good at. There was a point in, I think it was a Burnley game, where I was seeing Sesko actually having to run and drop back just to get touches on the ball. And you could see that he was trying to get just into the game as much as he could, and he was dropping in really deep. And I was thinking, this ain't the game that we want you to play. We want you to be the furthest player forward and to be that kind of like last player. Yeah, we want him to be that target man. And for him to, be able to, like I said, get the goals, be in the box, get the headers, all that kind of stuff. So I really want the players around him. I mean, obviously, Mbeumo's playing, Amad's playing, Dorgu, Mazraoui, obviously Bruno. I really want these guys to kind of look for him as much as you can. Look for him and try and just get him in the game. Try and, even if it's just, I'm not gonna say force any crosses, but if he's so good in the air, it's not really forcing it. He's one of them players that you can put it in. It can be a difficult cross, but he can still get his head to it. There was the time in the Burnley game, I think Mbeumo put in 2 crosses, and he's got both of them. He's absolutely towered over whoever their defender was, and I just thought, you know what? That is something that we can use. That is something we can utilise. And I mean, obviously they've got Donnarumma in there. I want to talk about him in a sec as well. But yeah, he's obviously a good goalkeeper. But I think the fact that he's a new goalkeeper, it's his first game.
It's his first game. You can play on that.
You can play on that. You know what I mean? You can
what he does to put our new goalkeeper in.
Well, this is what I said. Sorry to steer away from the subject, so we'll get back to it. This is what I said, which is like the reason why I wanted to put him in is because look at our keeping options. You know what I mean? Like what frustrates me is you've got a team like Arsenal that got a striker in. He just put him in straight away, Gyökeres. They needed a striker, got him in. He started. What's he scored? 2 or 3 goals now?
3
for them. 3 already.
Top goal scorer.
And Sesko's not even started for us yet. We badly needed a striker. Our striker's not even started until today. Let's hope he gets off on the right foot and hope he does well. But you 4 games into a season before we've even seen him start. It's too late. You can't disregard them first 3 games of a season. Despite the fact I thought we played well, our striker should have been playing from game 1. So it's ill preparation for me that keeper was so obvious we needed number 1. City also, I thought, Trafford was going to be their number 1, but they've gone and decided, you know what, we want someone even better. Gone and got Donnarumma. I get he's more experienced. I get that. I get if we were going to have if we went and got Martinez, he'd probably be starting today as well because he's got that more experience. But that's United's choice. They've chosen to go with Larmans. They've chosen to go with the player that's got the potential. They chose not to go in for Donnarumma. They chose not to go for Emi Martinez. We need a keeper now. So, if you think Larmans is the guy, why can't we use him now? Because City are playing their keeper now. They've played 2 new keepers since the start of this season. They've gone straight in with Donnarumma. Newcastle just put Walter Maida right in. I had to come off because he had cramp, but he scored a goal. He's got in there. Gyökeres has got in there. We need these positions, yet we're umming and ahhing and hovering. And it's like you can't just wait until the season's gone to start with your best team. Like we should be prepared from the first game, and it annoyed me. Anyway,
I like that speech. It's
true.
No, you're right.
Thank you.
I, just to touch on, I know we're going to talk a little about City later on in it, but I actually think Donnarumma might be. It's going to sound mad in it because of how good of a goalkeeper he is. He might be a weak link for them, And I'm not saying that because he can't. He's a great shot stopper. Maybe one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. But Ederson on the ball was so good, and I think Ederson on the ball was the best keeper in the world. I don't think anyone. Let me not say there's no one close to him.
His passing was unbelievable.
But his passing was so good. He was actually more of a. That was probably the biggest advantage that they had when it comes to the goalkeeping compared to shot stopping. The fact that Ederson was so good, he could pick out any player on the pitch with his ability. It doesn't matter where they are. It could be right wing, left wing, in the middle. Ederson could pick out anybody, and that made it a problem because that meant every time we played City and they were playing out from the back, you had to make sure that every over play was marked. Because if the player gets free, Ederson, he had 3 assists last season. He had more assists than Højlund. Like that's how good at passing he was. And I think the fact that they've changed to Donnarumma, and anyone who's actually watched Donnarumma know that is not his strongest part of his game. I think that's probably the reason why he ended up leaving PSG, because that wasn't the strongest part of his game, and obviously PSG kind of play out the back a lot. So I genuinely feel like, and one thing about United as well is we are actually very good at pressing. I know Mount and Cunha probably are 2 best pressers and are not in the team, but that is something that Amorim actually speaks a lot about. He wants us to press. Sesko is good at it as well, and Mbeumo's good at it. Ahmad, very, very good at pressing out the pitch. He scored a few goals last season from doing exactly that.
So we've got a front 3 that are all good at pressing today.
We've got a front 3 very good at pressing, very quick, including Dog as well, very quick, and even Bruno as well, a good presser. If we can actually get at City when they're playing out from the back, and we can force Donnarumma to pretty much have to play it long because he doesn't want to force it, he doesn't want to try and play a risky pass because he can't do that. Well, I think we can actually get at them from the fact that they don't have Ederson as a goalkeeper. And I know it sounds mad, but I genuinely feel like Donnarumma is their weak link.
Wow.
Interesting.
Bold take from Mordzs.
Interesting.
But just to touch on Benjamin Sesko again, by the way, I've had about 50 messages already saying, oh my gosh, you guys starting from like those of my friends and stuff. But just to touch on the Sesko thing, what I do like, Ricky, which I think you might like as well, you've got a right footer at right wing back, you've got a left footer at left wing back. I know you're not the biggest fan of Patrick Dorgu, but at least you've got a good opportunity of getting crosses in for the striker.
Yes, 100%. Definitely better. And why why it's different when you've got different players who also happen to be left-footed or right-footed, it absolutely bemuses me, because it should be something that you've got in your mind, which is your preference, if you understand what I mean. You know, he obviously Dorgu is left-footed, and if he's going to play him as a wing-back, I think he has actually started one game as a right wing-back for us early doors. But generally, and when I say generally, virtually any time he plays as a left wing-back. How come if Ahmad plays and he's left-footed as well and we play him as a right wing-back? I don't get it. Get it.
Good point.
Well, we'll have to sit Ricky and Amorim down in a room and get to the bottom of this. Got some super chats in from you guys. Everyone's hyped for the Manchester derby. People are shocked at the team news a little bit. We always knew, you know, someone was going to be shocked here or there. Some sort of selection. But Josh Korn says, can you stop going in on Ugarte before he's kicked a ball? Supposed to back the team. We are backing the team, but we also can have an opinion, guys. And, you know, sometimes when you look at a starting 11, you see something where you're like, oh, you know, I wouldn't have picked that player. We all want Ugarte to have like a man of the match performance and absolutely smash it. Of course we do. We just personally, some of us might think that, you know, you would have gone with someone else, but I hope he does brilliantly well. If he turns up the way he has in games where he's been like man of the match and he's absolutely bossed it, then there'll be no problem. But there's also been games where he's put us under pressure, he's given the ball away too loosely, he's got booked too early on, and it puts you under pressure a bit. So the Manuel Ugarte we've seen in them man of the match performances is what we need to see today, and everyone's hoping for that.
Yeah, the craziest thing is that, like, I remember before the season started, maybe even before pre-season, we actually like asked who would our midfield 2 pairing be, and a lot of people, including me, said Ugarte and Maney.
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually said that. I think even Mark said the same thing. And when we did a poll and we asked about people online, a lot of people said Ugarte and Maney, and that's not like, that wasn't random. That's because of what we've seen. You know what I mean? And I think, I do this all the time. Like, recency bias is always going to be a factor in football. We're always going to look at the last time we saw a player as to kind of our opinion and what we kind of see of them. Because the last few games from Ugarte that we've seen of him, they haven't been great. A lot of people's confidence has obviously gone down, but if we're being honest, like if we go back to this, I don't even want to say that Ugarte of last season, because like, the whole team wasn't great last season, if we're being honest. But I think if we go back to the best version of Ugarte that we've seen, there's no reason why you can't have a good game. There's no reason.
I hope so. I really do hope so. There's more people getting their opinions in. Make sure you get your super chats in as well, and smash a like on the video. Already on 1.1k likes. Let's try and get it up to 2k, guys. Let's go. I mean, we've got nearly 11,000 people in the room with us right now. Smash a like on the video. United in the derby. Let's hope we can get that win. We have Sirabar saying that midfield is terrifying. At this point, I would put Mazraoui in before Ugarte, who is low on confidence and can't pass.
Never.
Marlow FC says, please guys, enough of the sensational stuff. The mistrust in the manager is crazy. You're not on the training pitch. Back the manager and back the team. Mario Cabrera says, aren't these almost all the players Ineos has brought in the last 2 years? To me, it looks like intent by the club to leverage their investment. Steve Howard says, really want Ruben to succeed, but this Bruno obsession of just shoehorning into the 6 just to include him will get him sacked. Big Shot Yomi says, Sesko hat-trick today, be there, Bruno 3 assists. You know what, Big Shot? That's what we need. Get some positivity going in the comments, everyone. We want to feel the positive vibes. Island Boy says, have a good feeling about today. Sink Pep, Amorim in, Glazers out. Give the cameraman a shout out for trying to track Ricky. Great job as usual, team. Yeah, shout out to Greg in there, tracking Ricky's movements when we're doing the team before.
The team board.
The team board. Chris Judge says, Ahmad preferred right wing back, Bruno preferred centre mid, so no way Amorim will play them out of position when he doesn't have to. There are other left wing back and number 10 options. I mean, Ahmad's playing in the 10, so he has played him out of position, to be fair. But thank you everyone for all of your comments coming in to the show. Right, next up, I want to just quickly talk about City and what you expect from them at the Etihad, right? So if you look at where they're at currently in the Premier League, they've only got 1 win from 3. So as much as you think United need this derby win, and do we need this win, it can change things massively. It can really change the way that this season has started off for us. City are desperate for it. At the Etihad, you know, the crowd are going to be up for it, but United can play into that. You know, if City go down early doors or they don't start with greatest momentum, that the crowd might start to, you know, quiet down a little bit, get a little bit frustrated because of they're not used to this. It was Pep's worst ever Man City season last year. They didn't win a trophy, third. Yep. You know, they've only won 1 game out of 3. That Wolves game, who they absolutely expect to beat. Tottenham, okay, yeah, it's always a tough game for them. Brighton can beat anyone, we know that, but they've not had the best start to the season anyway. They need to bounce back today. So do you expect them to come out all guns blazing? Do you think United can capitalise on that? What are your feelings around Pep and City right now?
I actually wanted Amorim to kind of go into this game with a mindset of we are the better team. And I know, like, obviously, yeah, it doesn't really make sense to say that because we've not obviously had the best start to the season as well. But I think this is one of the few times ever I feel like we can actually go into a game where we're actually on level playing field almost, in a sense where it's like they've had a lot of injuries, we've had a couple of injuries, they've not had a great start to the season, we've had a all right start to the season, I guess. We played good football, they played some good football, but also we played some bad football, they played some bad football. This was the kind of game where I thought, you know what, Amorim, don't be scared. Like, don't be scared. And I know we've seen it in the past, and I always say this. Even the Arsenal game, the first game of the season, I remember on the forum, I said, look, Amorim, don't play defensive. Go and take the game to Arsenal. We're at home. Our first game of the season, take the game to them, and actually let's try and beat them. Let's not like try and not lose. You know what I mean? And I feel like this game as well is a game where I don't want Amorim to kind of sit there and think, I don't want to lose, and let's just hope we can get a draw, a win, or something like that. I want them to go in this game thinking, let's actually go and beat them. They're there for the taking. If we actually play our game, and everyone's on form, and we're finishing our chances. Most important thing, we're actually finishing our chances. We can go and take City and actually destroy them. I'm not even saying that as a crazy statement. We can actually take City in this game and destroy them. We saw what Tottenham did to them. They lost to Brighton. Yes, the Wolves game was okay, but Wolves are literally bottom of the table, not done anything other than losing every single game, so that is what it is. I genuinely feel like Amorim can take this game to City, and if he plays a very smart way of football, utilises our front three very, very well, and like I said, we finished our chances most importantly. I don't see why we can't just beat City and absolutely take the game to them and make them realise, okay, like Man United are a better team than City this year.
Calm down,
please.
Calm down.
Please.
I know people are scared to say it, but I'll say it. Like, we can actually go and beat City convincingly if we play our game and we do well. So why not?
Well, Man City currently are 17th in the table on 3 points, right? So if they lose today, they'll remain on 3 points. The only other team that are on 3 points or below that are West Ham, which we all know how poorly they've started off. Yeah. Aston Villa, 2 points. That's might as well call it Ricky FC. Sancho and Lindelof there.
Yeah.
And, you're not doing too well, are you, Ricky? Wolves.
They just signed for them. Give them a break.
I know. Wolves on 0 points.
Lost every game.
So they would be there. Leeds United have got 4. Nottingham Forest have got 4. I mean, Sunderland have got 7 points.
Amazing, that.
If Manchester United beat Man City, we will go up to 7 points, right? Because we're currently on 4. And then this poor start to season kind of gets a little bit forgotten, and we can really take the confidence out of that and start to build a bit of momentum. I mean, Chelsea are on 8. You look at it, Tottenham are on 9. I mean, Liverpool currently, by the way, drawing against Burnley in the...
How long's gone in that game?
How long is gone in that game? I think it's in the 75th minute. And it's 0-0 still. Knowing them, they'll get lucky as well. I mean, I absolutely baited like so many Liverpool fans in the other day because Arne Slot got Manager of the Month, and I said lucky against Bournemouth, extremely lucky against Newcastle, moment of brilliance against Arsenal.
Extremely lucky again.
Yeah, and everyone was saying it's still 9 points. This is what winners do, and still 9 points.
No, winners don't do that every game.
I'd love us to have 9 points, but sometimes your luck will run out. Watch them get the winner now, but that'd be good as well. It's good to put the cat amongst the pigeons, and you're well in it then. And I'm not getting carried away. I'm talking about for European football, which is what we're aiming for. Yeah. And then to have City that low, I just love it anyway because I don't like City. So
it's all a big if. If we can win today, it's a big if.
Obviously, if City beat us, we're down there and they're back on.
If City beat us, we're in the right mess.
Yeah, we are.
It's such a difference, isn't it?
Exactly. So 3 points are everything. You've got to die for 3 points. It's really, really important. So it's good to kind of look at things like that. I mean, we've got more super chats coming in. JDV says Mazraoui CDM, Ahmad right wing back, Bruno number 10.
No.
Say that again.
He said Mazraoui CDM, so he thinks Mazraoui's in the midfield with Ugarte. Ahmad will be at right wing back and Bruno will be at number 10. He said that's 2 CDMs that can cover a lot of grass. It might be what Amorim's doing. Pep will never see it coming.
It's a great shout.
I
don't think it will be.
That's a terrible shout.
I don't see why it shouldn't.
Why are we putting again another player out of position and just hoping that he can do the job?
Well,
He's got all the attributes.
He played as a number 10 once, didn't he?
Yeah, and he never did again.
Yeah, but I thought he played well in that game.
Look, I'm not even saying Mazraoui's like a bad player or anything, but
If you're me, even Mazraoui starts there.
I'm just tired. I'm just tired of just putting players in random positions.
It's not going to happen, and someone's come
like...
up with that idea, and I would say it wouldn't be a disaster if he played it like that. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
I don't think it'd be. I think Mazraoui's such a top player. I think he plays well wherever he plays. We already know Ahmad's a good wing back, and most people think that Bruno's best position is number 10.
Fair enough.
Good aerially, can cover a lot of ground. Good technically, read the game really well.
Imagine if it was that when it started.
I know. I don't think it will.
I don't
think it will, and I
don't. But it's not a bad
do
super chat. Who sent it in?
JDV.
Well done, JDV. It's not a bad shout.
It doesn't make sense. Casemiro's not a bad game. Why would you put Mazraoui in DM?
What I would say though is, if I could just have a trial game of it to see it, I'd love to. But in a game like this, it'd be a huge call, wouldn't it?
Doesn't make sense.
George says, any chance Mazraoui's in the midfield and Bruno is at 10? I know it's unlikely, but possible. Few people think it. Tyrus Young says, we really need to make our chances count. I see us being able to create chances, create great chances, but also very vulnerable to making silly mistakes in possession. I think Tyrus is absolutely bang on there. I think we will create chances, but you know, we can often make silly lapse judgments and it can cost us, and City will punish you, so we've got to be careful with that. Cafe says, do you think it's Ugarte and Mazraoui in the 6th? Ahmad right wing back and Bruno left side. It's a fan theory. Evan P says, love the Mazraoui, Ahmad and Bruno combo. The goal protocol says, excited to see Sesko start, would never have started Bayindir, but I think we'll win this one. Sirabar says, I may eat my words, but I see Ugarte having a nightmare in midfield and yanked at half time. Hope not. I really hope not. We hope
is
not.
Is he playing in midfield? Why is everyone
Anyway, guys, we're going to do a quick little run through of our combined 11s in a few moments. But first of all, I want to ask you your players to watch.
Okay, I mean, I'll go first. I picked Mbeumo. I think he's our best player. Oh, he's been our best player so far this season anyway. You can say Bruno's our best player, but I think so far this season he's been our most threatening player. And even though I think he scored 2 goals so far this season, one against Burnley, one against Grimsby. The Burnley game, you get quite a few chances, pretty good chances. One of them wasn't even that great, but he made it into a good chance when he chopped it back in, and then he tried to put it far corner. But I think the best thing about Mbeumo, which I think a lot of people underestimate, is the fact that when he gets the ball now, a lot of teams understand that this is a problem. And there's certain players that they're not necessarily a problem on the pitch at all times. Mbeumo's a problem on the pitch at all times. You have to watch him you have to watch him for the whole game. For the whole 90 minutes, you have to make sure that you know where Mbeumo is, because you know that at any point he can make a run, or if he gets the ball, he could play it in behind or whatever. He's got the ability to kind of do something or even create something out of nothing. And I feel like that's why, for me, he's my player to watch. And especially because in this City game, we know, well, from what I've seen so far from City anyway, they are going to play a pretty high-ish line anyway. They like to do that because they've got defenders who are relatively quick in it. So they are going to play a kind of high-ish line. I think Mbeumo running in behind there, they're going to have to try and stop him. And Tottenham did this very well as well when they played them. Not only did they press them very well, but when they got the ball, when City lost the ball, they attacked very, very quickly. And because of the way our City kind of, they flood a lot of players in their attack. They kind of play with only three defenders when they're attacking, and they've got pretty much everyone involved in their attack. If we can have Mbeumo or Ahmad or whoever it is, the furthest player forward, or Sesko obviously as well, if we can have 2 or 3 outlets where if we win the ball back, it's almost like a 3-on-2 or it's a 3-on-3. We're going to be able to catch them on a counter-attack and be able to take the game to them in that way. And I feel like Mbeumo will be one of the main players that can do that. So yeah, I think Mbeumo today will be a star player for United.
I like that. I thought against Burnley he was fantastic. I think he's been fantastic for us since the start of the season, to be honest with you. And I think he's our biggest goal threat. Let's see what Sesko's about. But technically he's so good, he's so intelligent, he's good at making them runs in behind, and I just keep seeing him making that intelligent run through the lines, and maybe Bruno just popping it through to him. And his touch and his movement, he can bag him. So yeah. I love Mbeumo. I really do see him scoring today. I mean, Ricky, who's your player to watch?
I've got 3 in mind, but
Okay.
I'll come to the one that's going to be my player to watch last. So I'll mention Mazraoui, because it's his first start of the season, especially if he's playing in midfield, by the way. But that's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek joke. But Mazraoui, it's his first start of the season, so he needs to be watched. Ugarte, obviously, nobody would have. I don't think hardly anybody would have guessed that Ugarte was going to start today. So I think he's one to watch. But my main one, the one that I'm going to be mad for watching, is Benjamin Sesko.
Yeah.
He's my one to watch today.
You stole mine, Ricky. I do think Benjamin Sesko is going to be a massive one. It's not only obviously about whether he can finish the chances that we provide for him, and let's keep our fingers crossed that we do provide chances for him. It's his overall game, I'm excited to see. His movement, his runs, his link-up play, his pressing. I've heard so much about how much of a good presser he is. I want to see what he's about in that aspect. And do you know what, also as well, I mean, he might get a full game, but I do think he probably at some point Xerxes might come on for him. Let's see what he can do in that period of time he's got, and then you've got a completely different option that can kind of interchange with him as well a little bit, because some people would think Xerxes might be good at holding the ball whilst Amad and Mbeumo running behind, but I think Ruben Amorim clearly he's made it his mission to go out there and press Man City. Like you said, Amad, Mbeumo and Sesko, good pressers. It's probably the weakness to Xerxes' game, he's pressing. So he's gone with that tactic, rather than maybe, Xerxes will probably be more used if you kind of sitting back a little bit and trying to get it, when you're trying to get it up the pitch, someone to stick to and get you up the pitch. So he's gone there with a bit of intent, which I like. And yeah, let's see if he can show us a little bit more of the glimpses we've seen and get off to a flying start. Imagine your first goal in your first Prem start in the derby at the Etihad. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Who was it did that, Martial?
Nah.
Who was he did that?
Did he?
What was Martial? Did he not score in his first derby?
No, Martial's first goal was against Liverpool.
Oh, it was Liverpool.
It's like a derby.
It was 10 years ago the other day,
Was it
I've
10
seen
years
it
ago?
pop up.
I was there that
Liverpool
day.
game, yeah.
I couldn't believe my eyes. It took my breath away. Oh my God, what have we got here? I didn't know who he was. We just signed him. I knew we'd signed him. But before we signed him, I didn't know who he was. And he came on the park and did that. Wow.
Yeah.
Blew me
Welcome to
away.
Manchester United.
That was a big moment.
Anthony
That's a big
Martial.
moment, yeah.
I thought we had like Neymar regen, Thierry Henry regen. But anyway, still, he's gone to where's he gone? He's gone to a Mexican team, hasn't he? Monterrey.
They were in.
Ricky, you've got somewhere on your bucket list to fly over to and watch.
I've got to go there now.
Monterey. get that going. I mean, just while we kind of move on to the last 15 minutes of this show and getting more super chats, discuss the derby. Let's have our combined 11s going round on that graphics carousel just so the viewers can see them and we can kind of maybe head to them if we have time. Kobe Howell says, Ricky getting his wish of Mazraoui on the left, ? You didn't want Mazraoui on the left, did you?
No, I said that I would like to see Ahmad on the left and Mazraoui on the right. That's what I said, wasn't it, before the game? If they were both to play as wing backs.
Evan P says, when Ugarte plays his best, he's a bulldog on the pitch. I hope that's what we see today. Do you not want to see him looking nervous? Well, a few people are backing Ugarte in the comments. And I think that's a nice thing to see from the viewers. A lot of people saying you need his pace, you need his legs. Do you think that's why Amorim's gone for him? Because despite maybe he's not potentially the best on the ball, Casemiro sometimes, does get caught maybe for his pace. Bruno's not the most pacey, although he gets around a lot. Do you think he's got Ugarte in there for energy against, a Man City team that do provide that?
I don't know. Maybe, but if we were playing Liverpool, I might have said that because Liverpool actually use their pace a lot more than City do. City are not necessarily the kind of team to play on a counter-attack. I'm not saying Liverpool do that, but Man City are more the kind of team, they want to hold possession. You're more time going to be stood in your position when you're playing City because they're going to be trying to pass it side to side and try and play it in between the lines, move it around. So I don't necessarily feel like it's going to be a counter-attack kind of game with City. That's not really City's game anyway. So, yeah, I don't think that's the reason. I just think he hasn't played a lot this season. You want to utilise your players, see what they can do. He's obviously spoke a lot about giving players opportunities. And when we were talking about Mainoo before, he did mention if you play hard in training, you're going to get your opportunity. Like I said before, maybe Ugarte just impressed in training and he thought, you know what, let me give him this opportunity to start. If it doesn't work out, it's not like he's going to sell him or anything. He's just another option on the bench. So let's just see what he can do.
It's a bit of a tough game just to bring somebody in to see how he does, though.
He's barely even had a minute, has he? Since the start of the season. Derby, here you go, son, go and prove yourself. But it's again, I would look at it, if you're good enough, you're good enough. It's a great opportunity to go and show the manager. I bet Mainoo would be gagging for an opportunity like that, you know, to start in a derby and go and show the manager. So, yeah, I mean, also, by the way, the jammiest team going, apparently...
Just scored, have they?
No, they've not actually, but Burnley, apparently, they've had a second yellow, a soft second yellow I'm hearing in the comments. I can't see it, so I can't comment.
Yeah.
So it is currently in the 87th minute, and Burnley are down to 10 men. It's just typical, isn't it?
They're about to score, aren't they?
Honestly, just if they do, I'll be gutted. But it will catch up with them. It will at some point. Can we take points off them before they get Isak in the team? I mean, God.
Is Isak not playing today, no?
No, he's not even on bench.
Right.
So I think Arnie Slot said we've signed him for the next 6 years, not the next 2 weeks. He needs to build his fitness.
I think they still stay top of the
Obviously,
table though.
Yeah, they would. They'll be on 10 points still.
Yeah.
But Arsenal right behind him on 9. It'll be interesting to kind of see how things go on there. I mean, quickly, guys, what is your score predictions? Who are you feeling like's going to score? Predictions, I know you don't like them, but let's do them.
I will go for a 2-2 draw.
Oh, apparently it wasn't soft. Sorry. You're going for a 2-2 That'll get clipped. 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. Who's scoring, Ricky?
Oh my goodness. Hopefully Sesko and a Bruno pen.
And a Bruno pen. Ooh. What are you going with, Mordzs?
Yeah, you're right. Bruno's going to get a penalty. He's going to get a penalty. I said 2-1, but I said, you know what? I don't mind a 3-1 either. I don't mind that. I just feel like we're going to concede.
I'd love either of them.
I just feel like we're going to concede just because we still have the goalkeeping situation. So I feel like that's just always it's just always something that's just like in the back of your mind. Even if we have good defenders, the goalkeeper's still not sorted out. So there's always a chance that they're going to get a goal. But yeah, I still think we can score. Look, the thing is, I don't think we spoke about this, is the Burnley game, the Arsenal game. I think there was a stat actually, like I saw a bunch of stats where I actually spoke about our like XG and the amount of shots that we've taken and our like passes in the final third, all that kind of stuff. And United were actually pretty high in all those lists. And it kind of showed that like we are playing better than what it seems to be. It's just that we're not playing that well for the whole game, and we end up conceding goals, like quite a few goals. So, like I said, that's what I mentioned before. If we can finish our chances, if we can actually just put the ball in the back of the net, then there's we can score 2 goals against City. We can score potentially 3 goals against City. So, I'm saying 2-1, but I really, really hope for a 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, is that what you're hoping for?
3-1,
yeah, go on. Because I'm going to say 2-1.
Oh, okay, go on then.
I think it's going to be pretty similar to what we had last year. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think United will score first, and I'm going to go with Bruno. I think City will equalise with a Haaland goal. I think maybe Bayern might flap it.
If you got all this right, you want to...
I don't ask me the lottery numbers.
Yeah.
And then I think Mbeumo's going to score the winner. I want Sesko to score though. Is it a want or is it a prediction? Because I want everyone to score. Do you know what I mean? As long as we win, but that would be my prediction. But you are right, Mordzs, in the sense that if you look at Manchester United, I mean, this game week's kicked off now, so it'll skew the stats a little bit. But since the start of the season, I think, you know, the results we've had have maybe misled people on if United have improved or not. Without a doubt, we've improved in terms of our possession play and creating chances and getting into the box. We've just got to finish and we've got to create more clear-cut chances. Most touches in the opposition box before this game week began. Who knows if it'll be the same after the Man City game. Yeah. You know, one of the largest XGs, one of the most chances created. I mean, most amount of shots, but sometimes that's not always a good thing because you can be shooting from wild angles. But we certainly have improved. It's just, you know, kind of putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I think Arsenal are better than City right now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? I think Arsenal are better than City. We were able to do it against Arsenal. Why can't we do it against City? Like, it's not a crazy thing to say United can have a good game against Man City. I know, like, you know, it is. We've obviously had difficult games, but I mean, if you actually look at our last results, I think our last 3 or 4 results, we've actually not lost against them. I think the last time we lost was like early 2024. You know what I mean? And I can't remember what that result was, but like we beat them in the final. I think we had a couple of draws against them. Obviously beat them at Etihad last season. We've actually gone there and played well and taken the game to them and won the game. So I don't see why if we can play how we played against Arsenal, but actually score and actually finish our chances, there's genuinely no reason why we can't win that game. I know people don't like to hear it, but we can definitely win this game.
Well, it's interesting because Amorim's spoken on the midfield. choices, and he said, of course, when you look at the team, we have 3 defenders that close the middle, and then we'll have 4 guys that are going to close the middle, and then with the ball we have pace in front, and that is really important for this type of game. So he's alluding to the fact there that them 4 in front of the 3 at the back have got the pace and the grit to kind of, you know, close up that
4?
midfield. Mazraoui,
like the midfield?
Okay. Basically them 4 in there.
Okay.
I mean, do you understand where he's coming from a bit
I
there,
get that,
Ricky?
yeah. I'm not sure I agree with it, but I understand what he's angling at. You know what I mean? Like when you do, if you're going to say that those 2 players have got to be in there, if you've got 2 midfield players and your 2 wing backs have got to come alongside them to fill the midfield, it's not impossible for the opposition still to get through you. And if they do get through you, you've only got 3 in defence instead of a back 4.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's the difficulty.
Yeah.
You know, a back 4 has been the thing in football since time immemorial. Do you know what I mean? And now, if they get through your midfield, if your 2 full backs are forward, then you've only got 3 defenders to beat. So, you know, it's a catch-22 situation. You can't be in 2 places at once on the pitch, can you?
Yeah.
So if your full-backs are in midfield, they're not a full-back, are they? You know what I mean?
Irakli says, time for Ugarte to step up. He's been poor but needs to show if he's worth staying or be sold. Swim or sink, no more forever chances. Well, that's an interesting point, because Omar Barada he's said on record, you know, from now on you get 2 years at the club, and if you don't perform then you're going to look to move you on. So this is Ugarte's 2nd year, and you know he really does need a big season. We've had Ben Jacobs on the show before saying that Amorim really likes him, he believes in him, it's about time. But you know, you don't have forever at United, as Hoyland knows, as you know, as you know, other players know that have been here. Like, you've got to perform, and hopefully Ugarte can do that, and this is his season where he's got to kind of kick into action. You also have Ruben Amorim. I think he's doing some interviews now because some more quotes are coming out on him. You have Ruben Amorim saying, Sesko is very fast, he's good in the box, we have spaces behind City's high line and we will try and exploit them. Basically, his game plan is getting the pace of Mbeumo, Sesko and Ahmad in behind that City defence, it seems like.
That's what I'm saying. City naturally...
I don't like the fact he's speaking so openly about it.
Yeah, it's too late though. Like, the game's going to start in like an hour. So, but I agree. Like, I feel like I said before, City are going to play a high-ish kind of line, and yes, they've got kind of fast defenders, but we've also got fast attackers. Sesko is very fast, and Mbeumo, Ahmad, Dorgu are all very, very fast players. So we can.
So now we've got Dorgu at left back, midfield, and in an attack.
Gonna get injured.
Must be Superman.
But that is a very good option, and Dorgu was even a good outlet against Burnley as well. There was a lot of times where we were spraying it.
They've scored.
Going on? No way.
It's right. This is an absolute joke.
There's no way they've scored.
This is an absolute joke. It's the 90 plus 4th minute, and they've got a penalty for handball.
Is it Salah taking it?
It was Hannibal.
Oh.
No! Why?
Should have sold him.
You just know it, don't you?
It's just, the look is ridiculous. It's genuinely ridiculous. Like, honestly, I can't. I mean, I was getting slated for it, but Bournemouth, I don't know how they crumbled in that game. Newcastle, I mean, could you write it the way that they went on and won it?
Were they 1 man down or 2 men down?
They were 1 man down, Newcastle, and then and that kid scores off the bench. Obviously, a great moment for the kid, but still, can't write it. Slobberslide with a world-class free kick that you just wouldn't see coming. And now they've got down to 10 men, and they've got a handball in the 90 plus 5th minute.
No, let me say this though. Let me say this though about Liverpool. Let me know if they score or not. I can't see the game. But I will say this though. This can't run for the whole season. I genuinely feel like the way our Liverpool are playing, yes, they're a good team. I'm not even going to say they're a bad team. But no team wins the league by getting lucky for 38 games. You have to go on a run of games where you are confidently the better team against most of the teams and actually dominate like these kind of games. I've never seen a team win the league where they've struggled nearly every single game. You can't win the league by doing that. Eventually you're going to slip up, and yes, Salah scored. You know what? Forget Liverpool, man. I don't even want to talk about them. They're annoying me.
Thing is, what I will say on that is that I know so many people that have him triple captain in FPL as well. Honestly, do you know what I will say on that though is that they have generally got to improve quick time, because Arsenal look pretty decent, and even Arsenal, to be fair, I still think they've got to improve if they want to be title winners. Okay, yeah, they've got an amazing defence, but I do think there's areas of their game, for example, when they're going forward and creating chances, that Arteta does have to kind of let loose a little bit and let the reins off a little bit. There's no, for me, clear title winner yet. I did think Liverpool were going to be super strong going into this season, and although they've got maximum amount of points, which is crazy to me, the performances have said otherwise. So,
but the one thing you can't say about Liverpool is they still have a £150 million striker waiting.
I know.
So
and do you know what?
Arsenal don't have
do you know
that.
what champions do, though? To be fair, is like get through this period where they're not 100% settled, win by any means, and then once everything kind of kicks into place, then they go and dominate.
Yeah, last season they lost to Forest early on in the season. I think it was 2-1, and then they ended up just kind of going on a mad streak and just winning pretty much most games. So, yeah, forget Liverpool, man.
Anyway, it's a derby. It's a derby. Apparently, he dropped a stinker, Salah, and then scored in the last minute.
Typical Salah.
As he usually does. Oh, I don't know. I've not watched the game, so he might not have dropped a stinker. That's just what I'm getting messaged. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. This isn't the Liverpool stand. It is the United stand. And what United need to go and do to brighten our day is go and win at the Etihad. That's what we want to see.
Yeah,
that's what we want to see.
Make our day.
Exactly. Oh, God. I'm gutted, guys. I'm trying to act like I'm not. I'm trying to forget about it. But it's just, the thing is, right, it's not even as if we're going to be competing for the title anyway, so it's not that big of an issue, but it's just, I want to see him get knocked off so bad.
Liverpool's downfall is like, it's a good day for me. I don't care like what happened, it's a good day if Liverpool lose. Same with Arsenal and same with City. So, like, Liverpool win today, that just means that we've got to beat City. That we just have to now. Like, that's even more motivation
I hope
to go
when
and beat
Arsenal
them.
are playing, you're not hoping for them to lose.
You
I
want
hope
Arsenal
that
to
when
win?
Arsenal are playing, I hope you're not hoping for them
I
to
could
lose.
never want Arsenal to win a game.
I'm absolutely desperate for Arsenal to win every time they play. Nobody else is going to stop Liverpool from winning it.
No, I cannot be
stand
desperate to.
outside.
I can't be desperate for Arsenal to
rather
win.
than Liverpool.
No, but like, I'm
I'd
just
rather-
hoping that
Every time
I'm hoping a
Arsenal
random
play,
team wins.
I'm
Like,
cheering for them as much as I cheer for United.
That's crazy.
They've
Don't
got
say that. That's
they've
crazy,
got-
Ricky.
they're
Don't get
the
clipped.
only team.
Don't get clipped.
They're the only team that's got any chance of stopping Liverpool going ahead of us in the title years race.
I'd rather.
They're the only team who's got a chance.
I'd rather Arsenal win it than Liverpool.
anyone
Nobody
win
else
it.
is going to win it.
What I
So
would-
what are you thinking
What
about?
I would say is, obviously they're not going to win it. Spurs have looked quite decent start of the season. Can they have
Win
a
it,
pop?
Give it Bournemouth.
It's only Arsenal or Liverpool going to win it. So even Arsenal's a long shot, but it's only Arsenal or Liverpool.
And then it is
gonna
like
win
I remember when I think Liverpool were about to win like the title, and I think City were on their like second or third. I think it was like the back to back. I can't remember what season it was, and it kind of just felt like yeah, it was when City won the league twice in a row, and they were just about to win like their back to back, and it was like either Liverpool win their first Premier League title, or City win back to back, and it was just like you just gotta accept that.
It's got to
you gotta accept
You've got to be one or the
Yeah,
other.
you
So
gotta
which one do you
accept
want
it.
it to be? Like,
But I would never cheer for any of the teams though. I would never say I'm cheering for City or cheering for Liverpool.
Right
like,
from the start of the season. I was gutted that we played Arsenal at home on the first day. I thought, oh my God, I want United. Obviously, I want United to win. I'm thinking Arsenal are going to fall behind City on the first day if I get behind Liverpool. If I get me wish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Once they fall behind them, that's more or less the end of it.
Let's just hope Chelsea pick up.
No, I'm not having Garnacho win a Premier League title.
Would you rather Arsenal win than Chelsea? No, sorry. I'd rather Chelsea win. I'm sorry. If any team was to win out of those guys, it's Chelsea. I'm sorry.
It's hard. I don't like anyone.
Someone's got to win it, though, haven't they?
Yeah, no,
I
I'd rather Chelsea than Arsenal. Yeah, I'd rather Chelsea than Arsenal.
Anyway, enough about those teams.
Anyway. Oh, I'm good. Ricky, I'm going to come to you for this one. I've been thinking about it, and I wanted to save it towards the end of the show. If you're Ruben Amorim in that dressing room and you're doing a speech to send the team out for war to win this game at the Etihad, what are you telling them?
What am I telling him?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you've put that right on me. I haven't had time to plan it, but if I was a manager, I would have time to plan it, and I would probably work on something about history, and I'd be telling him about George Best and Bobby Charlton and Eric Cantona and Brian Robson and Roy Keane and David Beckham. And I would hope that I would be able to enthuse them into wanting to be like those players and not to let those players down that have gone before.
I like it.
It's good.
Mordzs, anything you would add into that?
I would say to them, I'd say, look, yeah, this is the biggest game of the season out of every club. Football is a Manchester sport. It's a Manchester born and bred sport. We have the two of the biggest clubs in the world. So this is one of the biggest games in world football in general. Like that's a fact. And I say to him, look, Rooney's overhead kick Van Persie's free kick. I hate to say it, but Michael Owen's last-minute goal. Kobe Mainoo FA Cup final winner. These are all goals that have been kind of cemented in legacy because of how important they've been, and they've been in a derby. I say to these guys, look, you can put your name on this list as well.
Well said.
So go on, win it.
I love that, Mords. I love that. I feel inspired from both of you.
I'm sorry. Click that up, by the way. Send it to me.
I feel super, super inspired. V says, Ricky's right. Arsenal aren't going to win. Marlow FC says, the referees are desperate for Liverpool to win. Irakli says, but Arsenal being bottlers is such a delicious fun to make. Would rather keep that or stop Liverpool. It's a tough choice. You'd rather stop Liverpool, especially if you look at the titles from each side, that you don't want them to get far ahead of us, and there's a chance that they actually will. So we've got to catch up.
I think any United fan who's not supporting Arsenal is raving mad as far as I'm concerned, because no one else is going to win it.
Yeah.
And so what? By hope, even now, right at the beginning of the season, because it's right from now. If Arsenal lose, I don't know who they're playing next week, but if Arsenal lose next week and Liverpool go another 3 points clear of it, they're going to have it wrapped up by Christmas. You know, I'm desperate for Arsenal to win every time they play. I bet you're watching the results and it's 0-0 for Arsenal with 5 minutes to go. You're thinking, oh, I hope they don't score. I'm thinking, I hope they do score.
Liverpool win back-to-back. That's the 21st title, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. We need Arsenal to stop them. I'd love to think someone else could stop them, but I don't think anybody else can. Even City now, I wouldn't have said that a year or two back.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
Amorim on Ugarte starting. He said, I think it is a team that changes a lot. The position, we need to have a guy who is more light in the movements. The way he can press is really strong. I don't know, but we want to play Bruno on one side, but I don't know which side we need to press higher with a midfielder. Maybe with Casemiro or Kobe, I think we would struggle a little bit with that, but Man U can give us that. That tactical decision was to choose Man U for the pressing. So, again, he's picking players that can press well, which is what we kind of identified earlier on in the show. Amorim has also said we need more like a winger playing inside than an extra midfielder. That is my feeling. I think we're going to have more space behind. Ahmad playing in the national team, I saw during the week, and a lot of games played as a number 10 at Sunderland. So he is playing as a number 10 today, guys. He's not right wing back and Mazraoui in midfield.
There you go.
He played for the national team on the left, so he could start on the left. We can change that also, we will see during the game. So it seems like it's going to be Ahmad starting as a left-sided 10 and Bumo as a right-sided 10. So you will see him drift more to the left side of the pitch, Ricky, which is what you've been wanting.
Be great to see. Be great to see. Did you not just read that again? Did he say that he could also play on the left?
Yeah, he said.
Doesn't mean there's left wing back there if we change it up during the game, does it, by any chance?
I think he means. Oh, he might do. Well, this is the quote. He said, I think we are going to have more space behind. Ahmad playing in the national team in the week. I saw he played as a number 10 at Sunderland. He played for the national team on the left, so he could start on the left. We can also change and we can see during the game.
That could easily mean to me that I've seen him play for the national team on the left.
And I rated it.
and we could use him on the left. It doesn't necessarily mean in this game, I don't think, the way he said that. Anyway, let's see. He might mean it properly on the left, like left-sided wing-back.
Yeah, I mean...
What we need to know, and somebody might be able to find out for us, is did he play as a left wing-back for the national team?
I doubt it.
I very highly doubt he played as a left wing-back for the national team.
Or even a left winger.
I'm going to have a look right now, but as I have a look at that, Mark is now live, so we're going to head across to him, but final words of wisdom, Mords?
Final words of wisdom, come on United, let's get this win and let's shut up these noisy neighbours, man.
He played as left wing for the national team.
Left wing, very interesting.
Ricky?
No words of wisdom. Just come on, United! Come on!
Yeah! And on that note, everybody, head over to Goldbridge and infiltrate the chat with Manchester is Red.
Yes.
Go and infiltrate Goldbridge's watch along with Manchester is Red, and we will see you back on the Fans Forum with Kev. Smash a like on the video before you go, and come on United, let's go.